the fields where the skies are wide, talking about a journey through the cosmic ride. Einstein and Thorne, they set the stage for a trip through time across the space age. Wormholes connect distant points in space, traversable paths to a far-off place. No black holes pull, no crushing weight, just a cosmic tunnel to a distant gate.
Talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Bowling 777 through a wormhole flow. We're talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Bowling 777 through a wormhole flow.
Exotic matter, negative energy's the key to stabilize the wormhole for you and me. Quantum vacuum, squeeze so tight, creating conditions for this wondrous flight. Static fields and lasers in the lab they play, generating forces in a new kind of way. Gravitational squeezing, Casimir's force, negative zones we need to stay the course.
Talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Bowling 777 through a wormhole flow.
Thin shell formalism plates so fine, spherical geometry we realign. Energy conditions that we must defy. For a stable wormhole, let's give it a try. Forces balancing the plates, creating the throat, open the gates, from Earth to the stars in a single bound. A shortcut through space profound. Engineers and dreamers hold the key to future worlds and what we could be. With science in hand, we forge ahead through the cosmic paths that we now tread.
We're talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Boeing 777 through a wormhole flow.
From the fields to the stars, we break the chains. Understanding the universe, we make the gains. Lil Hula Crunk shines, bringing truth to light. Through his music, we'll explore the night. With wormholes and stargates, our path is clear. Exploring the cosmos, our future's here.
What up with it? Hey, everybody, how's it going tonight? This is your host, Ashton Forbes. You are on the live stream. Welcome, everybody. So you probably saw the name of the stream. I am going to be on with Alex Stein tomorrow night, guys. Tomorrow night, going to be on with Alex Stein. If you don't know Alex Stein, he is a pretty prominent influencer in the political sphere. He does a lot of like practical jokes on people. I think he's also famous for calling AOC Big Booty Latina and other things like that. He goes to some of the like open kind of hearings that communities have and just like trolls them as well. So pretty funny. I've been a fan of his work for a while, and his people reached out to me a couple weeks ago to have him on, or to have me on and talk about the conspiracy. My only hesitation was I saw that, like, I guess he did like Dom Lucre kind of dirty when he had Dom on. And I was like, as long as you're not going to do a Dom to me, then we're fine. And he said, no, this producer said that they were interested in the MH370 stuff and, you know, the conspiracy stuff as well. So I think it's going to be a pretty good interview. I have some other stuff set up as well. I will be talking with Health Ranger pretty soon. I think his name's Mike. I'm going to be talking with Vincent from the Valuetainment Media as well. So there's some pretty big podcasters. We're working our way up in the world, guys. And next week, I'm already booked like almost all next week as well. Friday, I'm going to be doing the space with Jonathan Caruso. Jonathan Caruso does X Spaces on Fridays, and I've been booked up with him as well. So yeah, it's gonna be wild, guys. So I was planning on talking about. Well, first of all, welcome everybody, and shout out to Bobby O. I also saw Chad and Sherry of the Investigate Earth podcast in the chat as well. Bobby O has been this man has been single-handedly destroying the cloud, the 2D cloud picture in the MH that they claim is in the debunkers claims in the MH370 videos. Just absolutely obliterated it. I think the best work was when he found out that there were red, green, blue, the RGB values on 2 of the pictures were identical to like 5 decimal places, which pretty much shows that there's been some manipulation that's happened there. It's if I take 2 pictures and have the exact same metadata values on them down to 5 decimal places, yeah, that's pretty weird. So shout out to Bobby O. If you guys haven't been following Bobby O, here's his thing again. He's Bobby O _ on Twitter. Check out his work. Big shout out to him. Also, shout out to Truth Seeker, TROOTHSEEKER. You guys have probably seen me retweet some of his content. Truth Seeker has been doing the thing that I've been asking everybody to do out there, which is to do additional investigation. So what Truth Seeker has done is he started just like taking some of my content and repackaging it, adding his own twist and his own opinions onto some of this stuff. And then now he's also kind of been doing some of his own work as well, where he, what was the one earlier today? I have to go check, but he did another post earlier today that I liked a lot. So I appreciate the more people that we have out there that are out there doing investigation, talking about the videos, talking about the case, the better it's going to be. I don't want it all to be on me as well. At this point, the community's gotten so big, it doesn't have to be all about me at this point. But, so thank you guys very much for all the people that have been out there putting the work in. Yeah, Truth Seeker is really cool as well. If you guys haven't seen his stuff, what I'll do? I'll pull up one of his posts real quick so you guys can see who I'm talking about. And, oh, yeah, Vincent Oshana is the other dude from Valuetainment as well. So, if things go well, and honestly, it's funny, I pulled up Twitter, and there he is. He's just the very first thing I see when I pull up Twitter is Vincent Oshana. Because I've been following him now. So there's Vincent right there. He's got this video.
My name is Ernie Whitaker.
Oh, I don't have the sound on my ear. Hold on. So there's his video of him going into Valuetainment, which is Patrick Bet-David's organization. So, if we do well on his show, who knows, maybe we will get attention to Patrick Bet-David. Valuetainment's the reason why I'm really excited is because I'm trying to, at this point, guys, I want to try to get to newer audiences. So that's why I get in on with Billy Football, Billy Hot Takes was really big because that got us onto the Barstool Sports platform. Going on with Glenn Beck was big because his audience is huge. Going on with Vincent. Going on with Vincent's big because Valuetainment, that's a whole nother branch and audience as well. Sorry, I got to charge my phone here. So that's my ideal at this point, is trying to hit new audiences that are out there. And I think we've already been kind of blackballed by Rogan and Sean Ryan. If you guys weren't paying attention the other day, Sean Ryan asked who to have on, and 100 replies were Ashton Forbes. I couldn't believe it. And I didn't ask anybody to even do that. And I saw all these, and then I posted, in the replies, and then my reply had 25% of all the views on his post. I was like, okay. It's pretty wild, man. I can't believe that Rogan and Sean Ryan and Lex Friedman are afraid to talk to me. It kind of blows my mind. But whatever. I don't care. Some of those platforms are so big though that there's going to be people literally out to take me out, because it's going to literally break people's minds. The number of debunkers will increase tenfold. There will be people doing to me what they did to Terrence Howard. If I were to go on Joe Rogan or even Sean Ryan, they would be like, what he's saying about phase conjugation can't be real, and the ether was debunked by the Michelson-Morley experiment. It's gonna be a shit show, chat. What was I gonna go check here? I was gonna get to Truth Seeker, so let me pull up Truth Seeker's thing real quick for you guys. But I think we're in a good spot here in the investigation in terms of we've got a huge amount of reach. Oh, yep, there's Truth Seekers thing. Oh yeah. Oh, the thing about the French father. Yeah, that was his recent one that he did. Truth Seeker. I'll pull it up here in just a sec for you guys. We've got a huge amount of reach. Even the debunkers admit now, like this thing's gotten into the zeitgeist. This is a conspiracy that's never going away anymore. What I want to do now with the conspiracies, I want it to override all the other bullshit conspiracies, like the conspiracy that somehow was a suicidal pilot, which is probably the dumbest of all the conspiracies. Like, why would the Malaysian government cover up a suicidal pilot? There'd be no reason for them to cover that up. That would be like the ideal answer to the question for them. And then the other conspiracy about like gold being on the plane or the Rothschilds thing. Honestly, the Rothschilds thing could still be true. It's just that the conspiracy is wrong. Like the thing about the Rothschilds was that like they owned part of Freescale, and then they had $7 billion in debt, and then they got bought out, and all that debt just disappeared. Just basically all the shareholders just got a clean slate. And then the other side of the conspiracy is the technology that they were hiding related to the plane, potentially. So I want to override all those conspiracies. I don't mind the conspiracy about it being remote controlled to Diego Garcia, but there's a conspiracy theory about the Chinese remote controlling it somewhere, which is total bullshit. Like we can rule the Chinese out because the Chinese hacked the Malaysian government the next day. The Chinese posted those satellite images. So Chinese didn't do this as much as guys like, and this is probably one of the things. Let's start taking some notes here, guys. I'll pull up my note list here after this as well. I might even do a new, what am I going to do here? I might do a new Google Doc about just debate points, honestly. And then just do it that way, as opposed to like consummating these text files. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, I think we're going to do that. Just making sure there's nothing visible here that I care about. Yeah. We're going to do debate points. Okay. So one of the ones right away that I don't want to forget is that I wish I could blame another country for this. Like I wish I could say that it was China or Russia or some crap that did this. But it's not. It's the United States that did this. Now, real quick, here is Truth Seeker's post. So this is an interesting one as well, guys. So anyway, just to close that narrative is that I want to override all the other conspiracies so that when people think about MH370, they think about these videos and they think about the case that we put forth, because all the other conspiracies that are out there related to this plane have like zero evidentiary support compared to the one that we've put forth, which just has like an absolute mountain. And like Ian Gige says, the Chinese satellite photo has the same clouds in the videos. I'm surprised nobody's lined them up yet. No, people did. I'm the only one who didn't, actually, because I didn't feel comfortable. Like it wasn't clear enough to me. I actually tried. I took the video, the satellite video. I looked at the images. I tried to figure it out. And the problem is you can't tell the orientation of the satellite images. So we can't really figure out the clouds. And the problem is the satellite video is looking at it from an angle. So we can't really line it up very well. But those clouds are definitely the same kind of clouds, which to me is also very strong evidence that those are from the same event. Yeah, Ian Gige, I'm sorry, I can't say your name right. I still don't even know if it's an I or an L. That's the first letter of your name. This is my man. I'm never going to be able to understand. It might even be a woman. I don't know. Never going to be able to say your name correctly. Okay, so this case is interesting because Guillain Watrelos, I'm probably butchering his name. Oh, hello. Thank you for that donation. Mangel03. How did the infrared satellites detect both a cold event and a detector properly illuminated photons from the clouds? Photons from clouds. If it's a Google Earth recreation. Well, first of all, I don't know. Oh, okay. So I think you're asking about the ZAP, the illumination from the ZAP. One of the scientific papers that we read about the wormholes talks about the event horizon of the wormhole, which is what we're seeing in the video. And it says that the photons that were hit the event horizon would essentially collect on the event horizon and then potentially even be amplified and then shoot back out, which is really interesting because you imagine it's like a rip in space-time. So you create this void in space-time. And so, but the photons, even a very low light environment, you're still going to have photons from the moon, the sun reflecting off the moon, the stars, etc., hitting it. And you hit it, and then poof, it zaps out. That's why we're seeing the flash. Now, keep in mind that the flash is probably only as prominent because it's nighttime as well in the video. If it was daytime and we saw that flash, it's very possible that we wouldn't be able to really tell it at all. But we have to also keep in mind that we don't really know the sensor capabilities of the satellite video. Like, they're using some kind of infrared, but it could very well just, like we already assumed from the very beginning, it's a false color infrared, which simply means like they can have the settings however they want. The benefit of the drone video, seeing it in this thermal layer, is that we can compare the heat signature of like the engine to the other stuff. And so we can actually have we don't know the exact settings, but we have some idea of scale. With the satellite video, we really don't have much idea at all. And we've also seen infrared videos from drones and other things that have inverted heat temperatures, so that hot is black and cold is white. So we really just don't have an idea. And we can't compare the two because they're two completely different platforms, two completely different sensor apps. It's not like one's a drone, the other one's a drone. So there you go. Yeah. No, Ashton, the debunkers know exact capabilities of satellites. That's what's so wild, is that all these debunkers, they always claim to have this knowledge. They always be trolling. No, it's supposed to look like this. No, it's supposed to look like that. It's like, you've been wrong like 10 times about stuff like that. Like, of course I'm going to stop. That's how you lose your credibility, when you're like, oh, drones don't come in blue and whatever thermal. And then we like find like 5 military videos with a thermal color like that. It's like, okay, well, no, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. So the plan for the next few days, I'm going to do just the evidence review tonight. I'm exhausted today. So I'm going to do some evidence review. I'm going to develop some points for talking to Alex Stein tomorrow, and for talking to Vincent in the future. And then tomorrow I want to talk about the ether. And we're going to dig into the ether and scientific papers around the ether. If anyone can find any good videos on the ether, we can probably watch those as well. So send me a DM on the ether videos, or put them in the in the Discord. We're also going to review the scientific paper that I posted yesterday regarding the ether tomorrow. And then Friday, God, I already forgot. I had something planned for Friday, and I've already forgotten it now, chat. Oh, yikes. Anyway, cheers. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more science. And I'm pretty much just doing, oh, wait. Tomorrow. No, tomorrow's ether. That's Wednesday. So then Thursday, what was I planning? I don't know. I had something planned and now I've forgotten. And then Friday, I've got this space where we're going to talk with Jonathan Caruso. So we'll see. It's going to be a busy few days, guys. Yeah, and I probably will be looking more into the low energy nuclear reaction stuff. I think that there's a connection there. Oh, that was free energy on Thursday. Okay, so let me make a note. I'm gonna make a note of this. So the plan for the next 3 days, guys: today, MH370. Tomorrow, ether and science. Thursday, free energy. I hope to have some more announcements for free energy stuff on Thursday. Probably I want to be able to have the name of the company for you guys. The next announcement will be the name of the company and a way for people to solicit interest in the devices. And then I can start vetting them. So a lot of people have already messaged me. Somebody actually donated money to the Cash App using the tip capability on Twitter, saying that they wanted information about it. Some other people have direct messaged me asking me for information. For now, what I would say, guys, is hold tight. I can't start vetting people just yet, although I do appreciate the $5 tip that said that they were interested. So thank you if you're out there. But yeah, hang tight. And then once I set up, I'm going to set up a new email in the company's name where people can solicit their questions if they want to inquire about the device, the costs of whatever, all those types of things. But the goal on Thursday will be to go over all of those details and ideally go over the questions that we will be asking. So long story short, what I'll say right now for it is that if you have interest, we're going to be vetting people hard. Only the people that we think will basically keep their mouth shut about how it works, and that people that potentially, like, there will be a scale people will be interested in, like people that are influencers, or people that will keep their mouth shut, people that will talk about how it works. I mean, not talk about how it works, but talk about that it works. And then people that are serious, that, you know, have the money, that can actually afford it. Those will be the people that we will be ideally looking for. And there will be a list of questions that you would have to answer. You also have to give us your personal information if you're interested, so that we can look into your background. I mean, not like do a background check, but like, you know, figure out who you are. And then anybody who doesn't answer the questions, you're just going to be ruled out right away. So yeah, once again, really only looking for serious things out there. I expect about 1 million troll messages, which is fine. I don't really care. So yeah, so if you're excited about that, you're interested about that, I've got so many people questioning about it, then you can get ready for Thursday. We'll talk about it and we'll get it out there. And what I want to say too is that, real quick on this, on the free energy thing, is that I know some people are disappointed either by the way I did it, where I'm not open sourcing it. And I know there's people upset that it's going to be prohibitively expensive. And for those people, I apologize. I do want to get, you know, satisfy everybody out there. I do want to change the world that's out there. But I totally understand your criticisms and your disappointment on that front. So what I would say is, you know, bear with us, because it's the over Unity market is potentially going to be a brand new market. And if it goes well, then I expect good things, and then to be able to relay those good things to all the people that, you know, want everything that they want out of it. So what I'm trying to do as well is be as transparent as I can, you know, given that I have an NDA, but be as transparent about the process so that nobody is confused about how we've selected people, the nature of the cost of the devices, and why we've been secretive about it. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, all business is about money, for sure. I mean, that's the reality of it. And I would want this, if I could be in the over Unity business and not in the in healthcare business, at this point, I would take it. I would take it. It's been so hard to do my normal job. And just on this note as well, guys, and we'll get into the stuff here in a minute. I'm sorry, we're doing our side stuff here, but like, I'm barely hanging in there on doing my normal job, just because I can't stop thinking about science and these other opportunities that are out there. Even streaming, like, if I didn't have my job, I would probably stream like 4-hour streams, and we would go over way more stuff as well. But I've had to actually pull back off of Twitter more, because now I'm being noticed way more. I just have a way big following. My posts are getting over hundreds of thousands of views. So I've had to pull back quite a bit from Twitter. I'm probably not going to be tweeting during business hours except for over lunch. And so if you're wondering why, that's why. And then if I do all of a sudden stop tweeting, there's only really two answers. Either if I stop cold turkey and I don't say anything about it, then either I've been disappeared or I've been brought in. Those are the only two answers, guys. Also, really quick, I want to give a shout out to all the people out there, and you know who you are, who have been watching and supporting me getting this information out there to the world. The people that know this technology is real, who are out there watching these streams, and they're going, wow, somebody's actually, you know, promoting our ideas out there, getting it out there to the world, where they potentially might not have the capability because they have NDAs that prevent them from speaking about this kind of stuff, or they have contracts with the government preventing them to speak. I want to thank you. I know you guys are watching. I know you're supporting me behind the scenes, and I appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Woo. No, I think it's okay to apologize. I think admitting you're wrong and apologizing builds character, by the way. Okay, so I want to show you guys Truth Seeker's thing here, and then we'll get into stuff. So Truth Seeker looked at the French Father. I know that Florence de Changy is in contact with the French Father, and he was told by Mr. B that the Americans know what happened to the plane and that there was 2 AWACS in the area. He lost his wife and 2 children. He got remarried, I'm told. Now, he says he's pretty sure that the plane was shot down. My opinion is that he was told the plane was shot down, and the reason why he thinks that is probably Florence Tachangi. Now, why is that? Well, because Florence Tachangi is like the best investigator out there, along with us, and he trusts her, and he's probably gonna have a hard time believing orbs zapped the plane away. Let's just keep it 100, chat. Let's keep it honest here. He's probably gonna have a hard time believing the United States has some orbs that float around that can zap an airplane away. I definitely don't hold that against him at all. So, he's looking at it from a more conventional perspective. Now, the problem is that there's no chance this plane was shot down. If this plane was shot down, they would not have been able to hide the debris field. There's no chance. The debris field would have been massive. Think TWA Flight 800. That one's one where the United States most likely shot it down. They couldn't hide the debris field. They found a giant debris field. And they found all the pieces of the plane, really quickly. That's the issue with MH370. The plane just straight up disappeared. Just disappeared. He was reaching out. So this article here talks about, and I hadn't read this before, he had been reaching out to the French president, Macron, how do you say his name? Macron? Whatever. Is he the one that has like a girlfriend that's like 60 years younger than him? I think so. Anyway, or is he the one that's married to the woman that might be a man? I can't remember. There's so much drama. But the French probably know what happened to the plane because they are, allied with the United States. And this is where we start to realize that this was a multinational cover-up, and the United States basically just used their leverage against every other country, told them to shut the hell up. So the French probably know, and he thinks that the French know. And then he says all these other countries probably know as well. And the truth is, yeah, Malaysia definitely knows. Now, I think he's saying Vietnam. This ties back to his shoot-down thing. Vietnam doesn't know because the plane never went to Vietnam. The plane turned around, and this is why I think he's aligned with Florence Tachangi. Is Florence Tachangi thinks the plane was shot down somewhere over Vietnam, and they just never turned back. And this would be my major criticism with her theory, is that she has to throw out way too much evidence for her theory to make sense. But she did more research than anybody else. Versus us, we have to throw out almost no evidence. In fact, we use more evidence than anybody else by far. The only evidence this investigation has thrown out is this Inmarsat pings after 1840. And we can actually conclusively rule those out because of the lack of acoustic detections now. So, our evidence, is the best, frankly. But he's right. Malaysia knows, Thailand knows, and India knows. And the way we can say that is because we looked at that radar signatures, and I'm going to show this tomorrow. This will be one of the things. I'll add this to my list real quick. There's radars from at least 3 different countries, 3 or 4. Indonesia would know as well. And I better have some of this stuff ready to go, huh? I think what I'll do is I'll start taking the screenshots and putting them in the document, and I'll share the document with you in a second, guys, so you can see what I'm doing. And so these countries know, and for some reason, Thailand and India and Indonesia just never released their data. They should have been tracking the plane after Malaysia lost contact, but we just have nothing about it. Big Mike. Pretty weird. So then it's why the silence? There's something that we don't know, that we don't want to say in this story. I do not think we know what happened. I'm sure a lot of people know what happened. I do not think that all these countries are involved. I think there's something we don't want to say, and I would like to know what. Well, you know what, French father, Guillaume Watrellos, I want to tell you, this is the thing that they don't want to say. Some floaty orbs zapped the plane away using exotic technology that is beyond super secret. And we can't tell the world because it would break half the world's mind. And for the rest of the people that have too many questions to answer. So that's why we did it. That's the only reason for a cover up this big. But he's right. There is something out there. And then he's excited about the search coming back. Well, the search is going to find nothing. Unless the CIA has debris right now that they're throwing in the South Indian Ocean, there's no chance that the search is going to find anything because the plane didn't crash in the South Indian Ocean. So it's going to be pretty spicy when we get to November, which is only, 4 months away. And they find nothing again. It's going to get pretty goddamn awkward, chat. when the next search completely fails to find a single thing, you better believe people are going to start thinking about, well, what about that guy that said the orb zapped the plane away? So, pretty interesting. So yeah, he says his confidence, yes and no. He's not really sure if the search is gonna find anything. Yeah. So, and the thing is too, if they, like Arwen says, cry face, searching the South Indian Ocean again. How sad is that? Yeah. The problem is they can't plant evidence now. It's too late. Just Art is just saying, Artonius, the growth would be all wrong on the debris. So there's just no way they can even plant evidence anymore. Having a piece of plane underwater for 10 years, it's going to have like coral all over it. It's going to be fish life all over it. It will have been reclaimed by the sea after 10 years. They're never finding that plane down there. No chance. So that's the reason why I'm not worried about it, because people are like, oh, are you worried they're going to plant debris? Not really. Like, they'd have to come back with it. We found something, but we can't show it to you. And we didn't find the black boxes somehow either. Like, there's just nothing they can say. I told the United States government, whoever it was in the chat, whoever said it was, the best narrative. In fact, we're going to put this on our list. Put this on our list. The best narrative the CIA could run with would be to say that the plane was hijacked by those Iranian passengers. They should just throw those Iranian passengers under the bus. They should be like, no, we knew the Iranian passengers were hijacking the plane, and we deployed our top secret weapon that we couldn't let anybody know about, the floaty orbs. And then we zapped it away, but it went like horribly wrong, and the people died. That's what they should say. Like, that's actually a good story. CIA, I'm giving you guys this one for free. Look at me. Look, that should be like my initiation ritual, is just coming up with a good story, a cover story for the CIA, despite the fact that we have a mountain of evidence. Like, they have to come up with a story that fits our evidence in order to lie about people. And now you can't blame it on aliens. No, come on. No. Yeah, you just say exactly, mistakes were made. You just go, oh yeah, we couldn't say the Iranian terrorists, they were terrorists because they were Iranian and they were hijacking the plane, and we found out, and so we had to cover up all the communications. There was more communications, and we deployed the orbs on the plane, and it just went really poorly, and the plane got popped, and therefore we had to lie about it. Mistakes were made. We were very sorry about it. Everybody's dead, and the plane's now they'll say the plane went to visit Ambassador Bijou in the Andromeda Galaxy. Like, that would be the play to move. That's the move. That's a freebie, CIA. There you go. You got a freebie. I'm telling you, man. I'm going to be a good CIA operative. It's going to be a good one. I can come with good bullshit that actually makes sense, as opposed to, it was a suicidal pilot and he decided to fly for 8 hours and go by his hometown where the nearest airport is and wave goodbye in the middle of the night. Jesus. Leave Bijou out of this, chat. Okay. I'll leave Bijou out of this. Okay, let's present our screen here. Okay. I could have sworn I just called this debate points, and now it's called untitled document again. So if you guys, being able to spew bullshit that actually makes sense is one of the most underrated skills imaginable. Exactly. Kubota Maria, you're on it. I like you a lot. It really is. And this is actually one of the skills you learn in poker when you're a professional poker player, is that you learn how to basically develop a story that you can, what your cards can be, a story that your opponent can believe. That's how people bluff. You don't just bluff by throwing bets out there. Your bets have to tell a story about your cards. And that story has to make sense. When that story makes sense, that's how you win in poker. And that's what I think is good about these types of stories as well. That's why I always tell people, you need to build a comprehensive story. Oh, we're writing that down too, chat. That's a good one. Okay. You need to tell a comprehensive story that fits the evidence. And that's also how you can tell when people are lying, is that their story doesn't fit the evidence. Something is off, you know? Like, what's the psychological profile of the guy that hoaxed the videos, for example. You know, there's no psychological profile for whoever hoaxed these videos. Now, what should we pull that in? Let's see what else we got here. Okay, I'm going to put another image up. So the debris, I mean, because they're always asking about the debris. Oh, also, yeah, the debris. We have like 3 images for the debris. Where's the other ones? Here we go. This is actually one of my favorite ones. I think I found this from like the Veterans Today. The Veterans Today website is just astonishing. I don't even need to type much except for just post this image about the debris. Can I make this smaller? It's kind of annoying. That's fine. I might make the margin smaller. How do you do that? Chat, I don't know how this works. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Okay, so we take that picture. Oh no, not like this. Images. And then this one right here. Chat, this one. Oh, 1 per page. What is this, man? Okay, well, I'll fix it in a minute. Formatting. Border width. I don't even know how to change the borders, but I'll change it later so it all fits a little bit. What's this say? Launch tally highest in 2 decades. I don't know what that is. Edit crop. One of these buttons changes. Anyway, this one right here is really important because you can see this one is the drift analysis based on the ocean currents in the 7th arc. And you can tell right away, like, this is not even, the debris is not even floating the right direction. The debris washes over here on the west in Africa. Can I make this bigger? There we go. Okay, much better. The debris, so you look at it up here on this one, the debris all washes over here in Africa. But look at this debris, this drift analysis. What? This drift analysis. There's no way this can get there. Just adjust the 2 blue arrows in the top margin measure. Is this the margin? Yeah, I got no idea. If this was Word, I'd be able to figure it out, but it's this Google crap. Anyway, I'll change it later. It's not that big a deal. So those 2 are good. And then we've got this scientific paper here as well. I'll pull this up. I'll add this scientific paper. What do these buttons do? Oh. And this is the one that was from that scientific paper that came out a few weeks ago that said that there's no way that the plane could crash without leaving an acoustic detection. It's highly unlikely for MH370 to crash near the 7th arc. Yeah, it would have landed in Australia, if anything. I mean, how do people deny this? How does anyone look at this image and not think that debris should have washed up in Australia? 0 pieces of debris washed up in Australia. This is where I posted on Reddit for the first time in like 4 or 5 months, maybe longer. And the reason I posted is I posted on the MH370 subreddit, which is also a dead subreddit, because they posted about this scientific study. This one right down here. They posted a news article about this scientific study. And I basically just started calling them all out as complete morons. Like, all the people on Reddit, all these initial investigators, they're absolute morons. They're just complete idiots. All they have to do, it doesn't take any special expertise. Just look at the map that we're looking at right here. Look at this map and this map. Look where the debris is. Look where the search area is. Look at the ocean currents. And just realize it's literally impossible for the plane to have crashed in the South Indian Ocean. End of discussion. And it's because these people are so stupid, they think that, oh, well, Immersat told me there must be pings that go in the South Indian Ocean. That can't possibly be fake. That can't possibly be wrong. So they just completely ignore all common sense. All common sense. There's no acoustic detections consistent with a crash. It even says there's only one signal that's even remotely similar, but they didn't find it at one of the 2 acoustic detectors that were in range. Guys, it just didn't crash in the South Indian Ocean. It's not rocket science here. The science we're talking about is way tougher than what these people people are trying than like just the investigative side. The investigative side is simple. Like just looking at this radar, how could it have been lost from radar when it's in range of 3 different countries' radars and 5 different radar systems? There's 3 Indonesian radar systems that could have tracked the plane, 1 Thailand radar system, and 1 Indian radar system that all would have seen the plane. What? How are we going to pretend like we lost contact with the plane here? Obviously, we didn't. It's just crazy, man. Okay. Let's look. I'm going to pull up one of my other debate posts. I do need to talk to David Pallades. I want to give him a shout out as well, man. I don't remember if I did last time, but David Pallades on Twitter, he's been doing Missing 411. He's been searching for missing people for I don't know how long, probably over a decade. And I think that that's pretty big. I think that's a noble cause to do that. And that's part of the reason why I think helping us find 239 people would be a huge, huge thing to be able to pull off as well. Somebody in the chat asked, how do we help Ashton get on the bigger platforms? For the most part, you bring attention to the case. I want you guys to be careful. I do not want you guys spamming people nonstop. I've got people out there spamming people a lot. I don't want you to do that. That does not get people to have me on if you spam them too much. Bringing the attention is one thing. Like if you do a respectful reply or something. Hey, have you seen Ashton's content? Blah, blah, blah. But if you're spamming people, I really don't want people doing that. Please do not do that. But yeah, if people aren't familiar, the best way is probably to link to one of my posts and show them in their replies, stuff like that on Twitter. If you know people directly, it all comes down to who you know. And this is the reason why a lot of people aren't having me on is they're being told by other pieces of shit like Jeremy Corbell or whatever not to have me on. No, that person's stuff is fake. Jeremy Corbell has never shown anybody a real thing in his life. Did you guys see, by the way, not to talk too much smack about Jeremy Corbell, but I'm buddies with the Skyfire News guys, and they just had this contact into the desert thing, some kind of UFO conference or something like that. First of all, I'm just going to spoil it. You're never going to find me at one of those conferences. Not ever. No offense. But that's not my thing. And Jeremy Corbell walks in with a production crew because he's doing a video or whatever. Because these guys it's just all about the Benjamins for these people. The whole thing is about the money for this guy. And people are like treating him like he's some weirdo pseudo celebrity. It's just, disgusting, man. So, don't worry. You're not going to find me doing that stuff. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking around right now. Oh, alt Protestant says David Pallades and Ashton Forbes epic duo. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his stuff. And I like that he's open-minded about UFO stuff, but not like all in on it. I think that's the right approach, is that you should be open-minded about phenomenon that we're not sure about, especially when you're talking about people just disappearing out of nowhere. That's one of the things the original investigators, where they messed up, is that after you failed your whole life in terms of 10 years of trying to figure out what happened to the plane, you should start thinking outside the box. Like maybe we were wrong. The same way where scientists now don't want to believe the ether, but we've got major gaps in physics. Like maybe we were wrong somewhere a while back. Instead of doubling down and just thinking, we'll find it out in the future. right? That's the same thing these MH370 investigators are doing. Well, there's some missing piece out there. No, all the evidence is out there. Everything's out there to solve the plane. You don't need any more. What you need to do is you need to move away from and it's really only one misconception. Move away from the idea that the Inmarsat pings are unfalsifiable. The Inmarsat pings were faked. End of story. Literally can solve the plane mystery tomorrow. That's all it takes. That's it. There is no other evidence that indicates the South Indian Ocean other than 10 rows of data on an Excel spreadsheet. That's easily faked. Easily. I could fake it in under an hour. Just punches some numbers. Okay, what should the satellite designation be? Okay, copy and paste that over here. Add 10 rows. Bada bing, bada boom. The idea that they thought that data was just completely unfalsifiable and no one could ever fake that completely ruined all credibility that the original investigators had, especially the independent group people. We better write that down as well. Okay, so let's. Oh, God, I wish I could figure out how to change the. How do we change the thing? Oh, aligning and indenting. I don't know. Pageless format. Ooh, I kind of like the pageless format. Maybe let's go with this one. Satellite pings. Yeah, so the mistake was thinking that the pings could not be falsified or misinterpreted. That was the big mistake that people made when they were trying to solve this. Sketchy data. And all we need to solve this bad boy is one image right here. There we go. Okay. That image is all you need to see right there. But I mean, we can show the video as well. It shows there's like hundreds of rows before this as well. I have not watched Billy Carson's pod on Joe Rogan. So for the people that are Billy Carson fans, I think he's a little too out there. Like the problem I have with Billy Carson is I don't know who this guy is and what his background is and why he would have any inside information. A lot of the stuff that he talks about factually, he can't possibly know. So if he's just a historian of UFOlogy and what have you, great to talk to him, right? But he talks about stuff that's pretty far out there that you would have to be like in black projects to know about if it were to be true. And as far as I know, he's never worked in any black project. He's not even an engineer or anything like that. So I think he is. Oh, well, Billy Carson was also on Joe Rogan. Tucker Carlson was on Sean Ryan. So there was two Carsons on podcasts this last couple of days. Tucker Carlson, I saw his stuff on UFO stuff, and the stuff with Tucker Carlson on UFOs, like he needs a little bit of a wake up call. I think somebody said it best when they said that he's been talking to Gary Nolan a little bit too much. Gary Nolan's too mainstream in terms of his belief systems, in terms of the science. I tried to switch it. I tried to have him look at scalar physics. I mean, if you're looking at Havana syndrome, you got to start looking outside the box on the cause, especially if you're going to say it's because of UFOs, then you've already linked it to electrogravitic effects. Now you just got to figure out how do UFOs fly, and there you have your answer to Havana syndrome. Well, scalar physics, man. And I think that's the problem is that we know that Tucker Carlson's sources are Lou Elizondo and Gary Nolan because that's what he said on the Joe Rogan podcast. He just said it pretty much. He was reading text messages from Lou Elizondo. So, yeah, cheers, guys. But no, I think Tucker knows some inside information. He's got the right connections. He's asking a lot of the right questions. But we would wake Tucker up. A lot of the questions that Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson want to know, we have the answers to. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking for a post here. Okay, let's see what else we want to hear. We might talk about the Gang of Eight. Community committee. Is that how you spell committee? Guys, is there 2 M's, 2 T's, and 2 E's in committee? There is. It's a weird word. So Senate Intelligence Committee, they know about this stuff. The Marco Rubios of the world, the Chuck Schumers of the world. They know. I'm not going to go into much more depth on that. I'm going to take a couple other points down here. Oh, crap. I can't see. Well, what am I going to do here? Let's move this stuff around. Let's move this over here. Let's move this over here. There we go. Okay. Free scale engineers, free energy. So they were serving RF power needs for U.S. aerospace and defense, and connected from a 2005 NSA security report. Let's just call it NSA report on commercial emergence. Superconductive microchips. Pretty weird. Let's move this like this over here. Rubio lighting the loafers. Rubio knows for sure, guys. If you can't figure out that Rubio knows, like, just look at his mannerisms and the way he freaks out when he talks about UFOs and how they're like a threat to airspace. Like, he knows. This dude knows for sure, guys. Doesn't take a genius to figure out. Chuck Schumer is just a fucking slimy piece of shit, so I'm sure he knows and he's just quiet about it. Hey, Noah, how's it going? Oh, okay. So this is a fun one. What Tucker says about the scary stuff related to UFOs that he saw. To me, it's the nature of the non-human intelligence. That's the thing that would scare me if I'm Tucker Carlson and I saw something and know something. It would be like, well, what's the nature of the non-human intelligence? More and more, the only conclusion that I can come to, the more I think about non-human intelligence, well, there's many options, but the one that right now is like, I'd say like 50% chance is that we live in a prison planet. Like, we're in a prison planet. We were put here just like Australian convicts were shipped to Australia and they put them on a deserted island where, and they would live out their days. And then eventually the Australians, have children and those children aren't criminals. That is the story that makes the most sense for Earth, is we are aliens that were put here and we've forgotten our history and we've forgotten about the technology. And there maybe are some beings from, I don't know where they would come from, but, overseeing us, making sure that we don't get out, prison planet scenario, chat, pretty messed up. But that would be dark. If I were to find out that we live in a prison planet, that would break a lot of people's minds. I think like 25% of the planet would have their minds broken by that. Like, just straight up break their minds. Pretty wild stuff. Good question, though. Hey, Danny. How's it going? Hey, Charles. We got a lot of people jumping in. I hope I'm not making you guys feel stupider. Yeah, no need to. What I'm doing is nothing special either. I think that if you follow the evidence and you don't just if you only follow strong evidence and try to put yourself in the mindset of other people, empathy is literally just trying to feel what somebody else feels like. If you do that, I think that you will be able to find out a lot of the secrets of the world that are out there. And yeah, what I'm doing is not a special talent. Anybody can pull off what I'm doing in terms of looking this stuff up. What a lot of people do is they try to connect everything out there together, things that don't have any connection. And that's where you fall into trouble. That's where you start to get to those loopy belief systems. Like trying to connect MH370 to MH17. Somebody asked me that. I think it was on Gareth Ike. And I went, how does that even make sense? So the plane ends in Diego Garcia. Then what? Then what? Then they kill everybody and they have a bunch of dead bodies on the plane. And then they fly the plane full of dead bodies to Amsterdam. There's just no way to make the story make any sense. And then 300 different people, like what, just never existed? They never really got on the plane. A completely different number of people. And then Amsterdam, the Netherlands, gets really upset because their people were killed. But no, it was really just like Chinese people that were killed. Because what? Because one person on the ground, there's one report from somebody on the ground saying that they saw charred bodies. Well, of course they saw charred bodies. The plane was fucking shot down out of the sky. And some of the bodies were Asian. That's the evidence to link MH370 and MH17 together. This is what I'm talking about, guys, where like we've got to avoid trying to just connect everything in the world together. And it was several months later, too. It's not even it was like the next day or anything. Guys, you know, one sec. I think the reason why Joseph P. Farrell hasn't reached out, which blows my mind. I literally said this guy figured it out. Doesn't want to talk to me yet or didn't reach back out to me. Pretty odd. A lot of you guys like Dark Journalist. I'm going to lay it down for you. Dark Journalist is an idiot. Sorry, man. He's an idiot. And it shouldn't be that surprising for a guy that wears like a suit with way too much hair gel, like he's 17 years old. He wants to be like a character, you know, he's playing a character. And he doesn't do any real investigative research as far as I can tell. You know, he finds stuff that he's got an intuition a little bit on it, but his intuition isn't that great because he couldn't figure out that the MH370 videos were real. And I don't know who swayed him into thinking that they're fake, but he clearly didn't look at any of the evidence or any of the investigation on MH370. Like clearly just dismissed it completely out of hand. So that alone destroys his credibility, especially if you're trying to be the alternative UFO guy or whatever it is that he thinks he is. That's like against all these other people. The other thing that you guys shouldn't do that are out there, don't assume that everybody who disagrees with you is nefarious. I don't think Dark Journalist is bought and paid for. I just think he's kind of stupid, you know? And I don't think that Chris Mellon and all these other guys, they're not evil. They've just got their own human motivations for wanting to cover up the nature of UFOs. They got NDAs. They know that it's a situation of national security. A lot of these people attack Chris Mellon and what have you and Lou Elizondo and say, oh, well, you know, they're liars or whatever. No, they just are keeping it secret because they have their own reasons. They think maybe we'll destroy ourselves. You know, you got to look, you can't look at the world black and white is the problem. But basically almost everybody in the UFO community is a complete clown on every side, all just clowns, guys. The ones like Lou Elizondo don't know how to run social media. Like, I don't know how this man does not know how to run social media, but like, you can't come out and be like, oh, I've got a death threat against me. And then it turns out that it's all fake. Dude, Lou Elizondo, nobody's trying to kill you, man. Like, that's definitely not happening. He hasn't said anything. He's towed the line the whole time. He's never told anything. He knows information. He hasn't given it away. Also, this shit about Ross Coulthart talking about having a dead man switch. But Ross Coulthart's a fucking clown, dude. Ross Coulthart doesn't know shit. What's Ross Coulthart going to do? Tell us the location of the buried UFO? Is he going to tell us what Trump knows? Come on, man. Ross Coulthart doesn't know shit. So when you come out there and you're like, I have a dead man switch for the information where I'm going to tell where the buried UFO is, or people are trying to kind of kill me even though I've been towing the party line for 7 years. Like, this is the stuff like, why are you even posting that on social media? I sit here and say that I'm healthy every week because I'm literally exposing the United States government. I am going through and explaining the science that they've suppressed and everybody they've tried made it disappear. And that's how you do it if you're honest, you know? So anyway. And I'm sorry I'm hurting some of your feelings for some of the podcasters and stuff you like. It doesn't mean you have to stop watching them, you know, but just realize that what a lot of people are doing and putting out there is entertainment, you know, so they should at least be honest about what they're doing is entertainment. I'm doing like a real investigation, and that's why it's not super highly produced. Although I try to make it look good enough that people will enjoy watching it and then not just look like crap. But like, it's just me, and I do my thumbnails like 15 minutes before my live streams, you know, and then we just do investigation, and you guys hear it right from the horse's mouth with no preparation. But yeah, this is why lies are necessary, because most people are not mentally equipped to handle the type of information. It's why waking someone up can be damaging. Alex Russell, I don't recognize your name, but this is one of the most insightful comments out there. In fact, it's so insightful that I'm probably going to write it down on my list of points here. That's how insightful I think it is. I'm going to put it up near the top. Lies may be necessary because many are not equipped to handle this information. Like how breaking it really is the analogy of waking someone up. The analogy is like if somebody's in deep sleep and you like wake them up, how they freak out. Like that's a good analogy. Like that's actually how people respond to this kind of information, because it just short circuits all the bullshit that they were told, and they realize like, oh, my whole life's been a lie. Might as well just go end it all. You know, that's the scary truth of it. That's why we have to be very careful. That's why the people that are supporting this behind the scenes like what I'm doing, because I'm waking people up. I'm raising the conscious. I'm not just telling you what to believe. I'm saying, let's go look at it together, everybody. Let's go dig through the evidence. Let's look at the radar coverage. I mean, look at this fucking radar coverage. How can anybody think that they didn't track this plane? Look at the radar coverage, man. What? This is how people wake up, because then even people that are skeptical look at this and they go, yeah, that doesn't really make sense. Right? Like, what the hell? Look at this. So let's see. Oh yeah, I'm like several hundred messages behind. Okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead. So if I missed your comment, you have a comment, just repost it, guys. There's Alex again. Yeah, we have to awaken her. And the thing too is we can only awaken who we can awaken. We can't try to force people awake. And we shouldn't be aggressive about people. The difference between us and the debunkers is the debunkers are trying to convince people to go back to sleep. We are just showing people the evidence and they're naturally waking up. That's the difference. And it's a very important difference. You don't want to try to force people to believe anything. Just present the information. People will naturally come through to it. This is honestly the reason why I think the whole UFO disclosure stuff even exists. It's all a slow acclimation process to get people slowly acclimated to this technology, because it's just, when you look at it right away, like even when I looked at it and I thought I was pretty smart at physics, I was like, this technology is like 1,000 years more advanced than we are. But then you start to dig into it and you start waking up and you're like, oh no, this is getting dark. Oh, we've had this for 100 years. Oh, how do you even explain this, right? And that's where I think you get to Tucker Carlson's mindset, where he says it's too dark, I don't even want to know anymore. Yeah, I'm going to do Allegory of the Cave here as well. Plato's Allegory of the Cave. In fact, I kind of want to look at the Allegory of the Cave. I mean, I know the general gist. Yeah. I'm going to read it off to you guys here. Plato describes people that have spent their lives chained in a cave facing a blank wall. They watch shadows projected on the wall by objects passing in front of a fire behind them, and they give names to these shadows. These shadows are the prisoner's reality, but not accurate representations of the real world. The shadows represent a fragment of the reality that we can normally perceive through our senses, while the objects under the sun represent the true forms of the objects that we can only perceive through reason. 3 higher levels exist: natural science, deductive mathematics, geometry, and logic, and the theory of forms. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, that pretty much explains it, chat. Is like, we are seeing the world through lenses, a perception that's been told to us by our media that we consume. And when you show people this type of information, it wakes them up. They don't see the shadows anymore. They then begin to see the true reality. And for a lot of people, that true reality is too dark for them. Yeah, it's one hard pill to swallow. Okay. Yeah, there's no chance that a plane can disappear in this day and age. Anytime after 2000s, I think there's no chance a plane can go out and disappear. Just not at all. So any planes that are like, oh, disappeared, we don't know where it went, bullshit. So we have satellites everywhere. Everywhere. Hold on, I got people text messaging me. Damn, Manhattan Project. Should I go on with Investigate Earth to talk about the Manhattan Project? I don't know that much about it. I wouldn't say I'm an expert. The problem is I don't really want to go on podcasts and talk about things I'm not an expert on, because then it allows people to discredit me more. I'm going to really try to keep it pretty niche until I dig into more. Look at Chaotic Good in the chat. So you're saying don't shake them until somebody confuses me for a British nanny. Okay. Yeah, at the end of the day, what we're explaining is just physics. Just physics. That's the beauty of it. The physics that we've misunderstood. Oh yeah, this is a martini chat. If you don't know me, I'm Mr. Martini out here. I don't know what lunch break is. No. There is a big aspect of cognitive dissonance that kicks in with these videos where people just think it can't be real. I still remember when I showed my dad, he literally had like his head snapped when he saw the plane zap. It was like an unconscious reaction that he had, that he just couldn't look, because it was like you could see his mind snapping. It was wild. I would talk about the Philadelphia Project, but I don't know if I know enough about the Manhattan Project. Yeah, you have to use dry vermouth, guys. Here, you guys want the martini recipe real quick? Okay. You fill your shaker up with ice to the top. You pour a little bit of dry vermouth, just a very, very tiny bit of dry vermouth, like a very tiny. I guarantee you, if you put too much vermouth in there, it's going to taste like crap. So you pour a tiny bit of dry vermouth on your ice. You shake it up so that the vermouth covers the ice, and then you pour it out, whatever, like you use the top of the shaker to pour out whatever will come out. So whatever's left is just what's covering the ice. Then you take your vodka or gin, if you like gin. I prefer vodka martinis. And then you fill your shaker up about 3/4 of the way with the ice in there. You take your olive juice from your olives and you pour to taste. I like it dirty, but pour a little bit in there, whatever you like. Not too much, but you want to err on the side of less. And then you cover it and you let it sit for 5 minutes. Okay. Why do you let it sit for 5 minutes? You want the ice to melt a little bit. You want a little bit of ice to melt so there's a little tiny bit of water in there. So then you shake it all up and then you pour it into your drink. Enjoy. And stuff your blue cheese olives, because that's the only way. There you guys go. There's your recipe for your martini, chat. I've gotten really good at them. Okay. Yeah, Yahtzee to Paul Size. I'm going to assume we say his name Size, because that's like the hardest name to ever say in the world right there. Okay, let me see what other evidence I'm going to pull up here. God, I have so much stuff here. Where are TH interview? Thomas, we can close this. Also, guys, Cosmic Summit in a couple weeks. I got to figure out. I got to get those passes, guys. I'm guarantee it. I said I'd get them. I'm going to do my best to get that set up. I don't want to leave you guys hanging with the virtual passes. I want to give away a few. We do have another week before that, but I want to make it happen. Okay. We could talk about Amy Eskridge. So, some people think it's Jesus. Jesus. I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. Lady of Culture over here. Chaotic Good. Yeah, maybe a Czech name. Chiish? Chiish? Is that how you say it? I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Gotta hear somebody say his name. I'm also, by the way, I've always been terrible at pronouncing names. I used to referee soccer when I was young, and I couldn't say anybody's names correctly. It was embarrassing. I have a document that has debate points up somewhere. I think it's the Glenn Beck one. Some of these just have timestamps, and I don't even know what videos the timestamps are from. Oh, boy. That's awkward. I'm going to close Thomas Bearden Part 4. I'm reading some of my notes on some of Dave Rossi's stuff when I interviewed with him. Lens throwing effects. Man, that interview we had with Dave Rossi recently was good. I'm looking at the notes. That was a good one. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. Okay, I found the other details. I'm just going to copy and paste some of these in. We're going to stop in about 15 minutes as well. So I'm going to try to get some sleep. Can you confirm the Philadelphia project was legit? I think it probably was. There's a lot of big name people that are tied to Philadelphia experiment, man. It's not like some random thing. Thomas Townsend Brown is tied to it. Einstein was tied to it. Tesla was tied to it, but backed out. Those are big names in physics, man. And so, and from a scientific perspective, you could argue that cloaking an object through electromagnetic effects might cause space-time to bend. I think there's a direct connection between cloaking, bending space-time, and free energy as well, or over unity. I think that all of these things are connected. They all use the same science. I think that that might have been when we first figured out how to bend space-time. I truly think that it was potentially. So I don't know for sure. I am planning to talk to Tim Ventura, who's interviewed a lot of the people that know about it. Although I'm not sure if he thinks it was real or not, but I do. I do. I don't think Einstein's fake. I just think that general relativity needs some improvements. That's all. Isaac Asimov was tied to it. Ooh. Isaac Asimov was smart for sure. Like I've just seen quotes from him, and I'm sure this man knew some stuff for sure. Okay. Think Tesla sabotaged the experiment? I'm not sure about all that. Not sure about all that, chat. Why do people? You can just skip ads. I've got the ads set up while I stream on YouTube, so I'm sorry, but I'm gonna make a little bit of money while I do this. I spend a lot of time on this, and I make like nothing from it. But just in case I lose my job, I might need this money. I hope I don't. So if it bothers you, just press the skip button. But I thank you for watching the ad. Alex Russell says E equals MC squared. Einstein equals married cousin twice. That's messed up, man. Mixed Lorentz and Einstein, they're not compatible? Not sure about that. Okay. Let's pull some evidence here. So the first thing is proving the lie, right? So let's start with proving the lie. Let's make that at the top. Proving the lie. I'm going to change this to this one. And we remove that. Comma. Sivers. I think that's pretty good. Oh, and we can add. Kind of want to add the USA 229 flyover here as well, because we actually proved that the flyover was in the right spot. The other thing I was thinking, Chad, is that what we might do for the next MH370 investigation stream is we might just go back through old posts and we might make a list of the major topics, and then I can just rehash the major topics every few months, like every 3-month cycle or something like that, every 12 weeks. Then I just do a new thing about the old topic, so that, because I think what's happened too is that some new people, like some of you are relatively new to the stream and you haven't seen all the old evidence. Like, for example, I'm going to show you right now the USA 229 flyover video, because a lot of this stuff, like for me, it seems fresh, but like then I'm like, oh wait, that was 8 months ago. So a lot of people, that's when I had like 4,000 followers. Now I have 140,000. So a lot of people don't realize like truly how much incredible evidence we have. Like it's overwhelming amount. Like this is a real flyover of USA 229. This is the spy satellite USA 229 naval ocean surveillance satellite. You can see the time at the top of the screen on March 7th UTC time, and then right there you're looking at the coordinates right there. This is the coordinates of the satellite video right there. That's one of the coordinates. And you can see this satellite pair was right here at the time where they claimed this plane turned into the South Indian Ocean, staring at the coordinates there. Now imagine that this bubble that you see is even wider. It could be even wider than this. And if it's even wider, then that means that, you know, they could be moving that screen around from a very large field of view. So I just think that, so yeah, that's kind of why I want to like make sure that for newer people, I want to post the evidence repeatedly. So anyway, we recreated this using, I think it was Planet 365. There's a website that has all the old trajectories of the satellites. Yeah, that was the first smoking gun. Like that smoking gun was like, we literally found a spy satellite right there staring down at the plane. How are they going to deny they don't know what happened to the plane? You know? Yeah, exactly. So like the amount of smoking guns we have it's gotten to the point where like I don't know how people can just even deny it. It's undeniable the United States government knows what happened to the plane. Undeniable. Why are they lying about it? And then it's like, well, okay, why are they lying about it? Well, maybe is it these videos? Probably. You know, actually, I'm going to show one of the videos real quick while I finish my martini. It's like, here's the reason why you lie about the plane, right? This is the reason. You're staring at it here. It actually blows my mind that people think we're looking at a video game or CGI here. Look at how much detail are in those clouds in the background there. Do they really think somebody faked those clouds? Those are 3D dynamic parallax. They think that somebody faked the shake. There's accurate camera shake on this. What? How did they fake the heat signatures of the orbs? How did they fake the movement of the orbs? How did they fake the geodesic in front of the orbs? Like, debunkers can't even answer any questions about these videos because it's that authentic. It's like trying to explain a real video as being a fake, and then you're just like, there's a million answers. Like, how do they even explain the heat signature in the belly of the plane here? Like, look at that heat signature morph accurately. Nobody faked that frame by frame. It's crazy, man. Yeah, some people say, I wish you were wrong or that this was just aliens. I have no bias whether or not this was aliens, United States government. I'm just telling you it's definitely United States government because of all the evidence around when you watch this video over and over again. We didn't just randomly catch aliens zapping MH370. Why the hell would aliens care about a commercial airliner? They don't. Who would care about it? The United States government. And we're the ones filming it. and I've talked to the engineers now, and I would have thought it was aliens at first, but once you start talking to the engineers, and they're like, yeah, I'm working on this kind of technology, then you're like, oh, okay, well, shit, we got crazy gravity technology out there. And then once you realize that this technology goes back to the Philadelphia experiment, that's how you realize, like, oh, shit, okay, so we've been hiding this for like 80 years. Well, that's awkward. That's fucking awkward. That's my one F-bomb for the night, guys. I think that these orbs actually could make crop circles. That's one of the weird things. So people that don't know much about the crop circle stuff, I did like kind of my own little research into it before MH370. And I thought, wow, there is something here. It feels like it's been covered up. And then, yeah, why this plane? That should probably be another one we do up here. I'll put that down on this list back down here. And then I found out that early on, one of the conclusions that people had made was that it was some type of spiral plasma effect was what was causing the crop circles. And now I think back at that and I'm like, holy shit, wait, plasma is all related to this. And if they can make those geodesics in front of them, those lines you see in front of the orbs, and I'll show you a better video. So for anybody who can't see the lines in front of the orbs, look at this version. You can clearly see the lines in front of the orbs. Look at that. Look at the lines in front of the orbs. They're being pulled forward. Imagine just using that, whatever that thing is, like some kind of laser making some kind of geodesic in front of them. Imagine using that on crops. You would create a crop circle with it. Also, notice how quickly the thing behind the orb dissipates. The black line dissipates very quickly. It's hard to see. You can only tell in some cases. But like right here with this orb, you can see there's almost nothing behind the orb, but this is all in front of the orb right here. So the space is actually dissipating very quickly after it gets created. To me, this looks like they're expanding space in front of them. And then they're using it to go down like a well. Like, have you guys ever seen the game called Shoot the Moon? Here we go. This, I'm going to show you exactly what the orbs are doing. Actually, this is awesome. This is a good visualization for you guys. This is what the orbs are doing, chat. Shoot the moon.
5,000.
You expand space in front of them, and then you move, right? You shoot the moon.
2, 3.
This is what I want you to imagine when you watch the orbs. You're expanding space in front of you, and what that causes is the vector of travel for you to run down. Same idea as this, conceptually. But instead of this, they're making their own space. This guy's good as hell. Holy crap. This guy's really good. Yeah, this guy is a master. Holy crap. This is not as easy as this person's making it look. Also, this looks like my grandma's house. Is this game legal? So imagine creating space in front of you, and then you're going to have this same effect happen with the orb. So someone just asked another good question. Is this a debate or is this an interview? I am going to go into it thinking that it's a debate, but I think it's just going to be an interview again. I don't think there's anybody out there that can stand up in a debate with me. Certainly not any podcasters. Now, just because of Alex's history, just in case he comes at me hard, I want to be ready for it. But I'm not really worried about that either, honestly, guys. There's anything that he were to bring up, even if he brings up the debunks, I'm just going to shoot him down just like that. So I've just prepared way too much at this point. I honestly don't even need to do what we're doing tonight. Like, I'm just that prepared. I could go into it cold and just be totally fine. But I just wanted to go through some of the key points. So why this plane, people asked? That's going to be related to the Freescale semiconductor engineers. There's no doubt. This is not a random event. You know, again, a lot of people, if you're new to the case, you think that, oh, well, why would they be randomly filming this plane? They're not randomly filming the plane. This is not a random situation. Nothing about this is random. And that's why you realize once you realize this is a United States operation, everything makes sense. This is not a random plane. They're not filming a random plane. It's not a random drone that just happened to catch a plane flying by. The whole thing was an operation. And why is it an operation? The Freescale Semiconductor engineers, 8 of which are Chinese nationals. And they work for the American company, Freescale Semiconductors. And turns out semiconductors, and this company is tied to the United States Aerospace and Defense. Semiconductors are basically what are all, I mean, just look at the price of semiconductors. We put tariffs on semiconductors. The war, the economic war going on right now is over semiconductors. Do the batteries play a role in this? A lot of people ask. I don't think so. I think the batteries' role was to divert the plane away from China. You ignite the batteries, forces the plane to turn around, and then you either take control of it or you just catch it in a vulnerable spot where spy satellites from the other countries can't see. So that's my opinion, but there could be some role that I'm not fully grasping. I don't think you need the energy out of the batteries. Why not just shoot it with a missile? Exactly. That's a good question, because they need the people alive. Maybe they wanted them alive. Are they alive right now? I can't say, but that would seem to make sense. So why not shoot a missile? Hiding the plane or there's a couple of reasons. Hide the plane, retain the scientists, or a show of force. So it could be one of either of those threes. So why not just shoot with a missile? I agree. There's easier ways to destroy a plane. This is what Joseph P. Farrell said. So you could say you're either warping the plane away so that people don't know where it went, or you are trying to save some of the scientists on board. Like you want to make, they were defecting to China maybe, or you're doing this as a show of force. You're showing China and Russia, we can zap a plane away with our super advanced technology, and we can lie to the whole world about it too. Vladimir Putin says, or he was asked, why not win a propaganda war against the United States and tell people the United States destroyed the Nord Stream pipeline? Well, and he said, because the United States has the best propaganda apparatus in the world. It's not cost effective to go into a propaganda war with the United States. But good question. Who bought the company? NXP. Who owns NXP stock? Ashton Forbes does. So the moment that I found out that NXP bought Freescale Semiconductors, and that, like, if you guys look at the people who own Freescale, it's just like all the evilest corporations in the world. And then I also found out that apparently like superconductors are like the magic technology. I put like all of my private, like just my, like, you know, play around money. I put it all into NXP, all of it. I didn't diversify or anything. I put it all straight up into NXP. I said, well, all the rich assholes have their money here, and semiconductors are apparently magical technology. And oh boy, those stock prices have gone way up. Wow. I wish I had put the money in retrospect in NVIDIA. If I had put the money in NVIDIA, it would have already tripled at this point, but whatever. You can't win them all. Yeah, NVIDIA stocks are out of control, man. So maybe there was better ones to put it into, but whatever. Teledyne FLIR, I'm not familiar with them. Yeah, it could be to show off the tech, but they didn't want people to get these videos. They wanted the other countries to like see that the plane disappeared, but they didn't want them to see all the detail. And we know that because that's why they came down on Edward C. Lin so hard. Because Edward C. Lin leaked the videos. I'm going to have to flesh this out later. I think what we'll do is we'll keep this as a working document. And we'll keep it kind of the points kind of tight, and we'll fix it up a little bit. We'll add images to it. That way anybody, and then I'll share this with people. That way anyone who wants to debate or whatever can come back to this document and review it. Yeah, who's your daddy? And the reason why they came down to Edward C. Lin is because Edward C. Lin fucked it all up. Edward C. Lin leaked the videos, and then China and Russia knew exactly what happened in the plane, and they learned how to reverse engineer technology, because we did too. If we can figure it out, then Russia and China definitely figured it out. Definitely. Well, some say, well, what about all the people weren't important? Yeah, that's where it gets dark, chat. That's where it gets very dark. You could argue that things went poorly, like maybe they were trying to save them and they ended up killing them. No idea. I have AT&T, by the way, and my thing is fine. So I don't know. People are saying AT&T is down. I've had no problems all day. Maybe it's another solar flare. My solar flare aficionados out there, a lot of people are all in on this solar flare shit. Guys, we're not getting taken out by a solar flare. And even if it were, there's literally nothing we can do about it. Some of y'all are obsessed with your solar flares. So RP, that's like the $100,000 question. Could this plane, where is this plane? The problem is it's 10 years later. If we had figured this out in 2014, I would be like flying around the world trying to find this plane. But because it's 10 years later, this plane was ripped to shreds. They threw some of it in the water. They scrapped it or something. Heck, maybe they're taking the scrap out and they're throwing it in the South Indian Ocean right now. I don't know. It's going to be super awkward if they find a few pieces of the plane and they're like brand new in the water. We're definitely going to call it the CIA if they try to pull that bullshit. Yeah, NXP is owned by, in the Netherlands, I think. It's a foreign company. Also, there was a couple deals that got canceled where like companies were trying to buy like Freescale and they gave them a huge cash offer, but they rejected it anyway, which is whenever that happens, you want to figure out what's that company doing, man. What is that company doing? Mike Harris talked about that, actually. If you guys didn't check out my Mike Harris interview, you should probably check it out. Oh, yeah, the spy satellites, how do they work as a network? Yeah, they call them a constellation. So the SBIRS system, space-based infrared system, is a constellation of satellites. And that's how satellites work nowadays. We don't look down through one individual satellite anymore. They have satellites scanning the whole world all the time. And they're scanning the whole world all the time. I should probably post the SBIRS video again. It's probably been like 4 or 5 months since I posted the SBIRS video.
Persistent infrared surveillance continues to be a critical national security space mission. The Cold War focus on strategic ICBM systems has expanded to include short and mid-range ballistic missile threats. The Defense Support Program maintains the legacy Cold War monitoring to warn of ICBM missile launches against the U.S. The replacement program is the Space-Based Infrared System, or SBIRS.
Look at these scans, guys. And I'm pretty sure these Molniya orbits that you see, these oblong ones, I think these are being used as relay satellites because they have really good line of sight of all the other satellites. If you're a low Earth orbit, then you don't have a good line of sight of all the other satellites. But this one is going to have, like, imagine it's way up here at the top. That one's going to have amazing line of sight of like every single satellite.
Which has already provided 2 infrared sensor payloads in highly elliptical orbits, or HEO. The SBIRS program is also deploying multiple spacecraft into geosynchronous Earth orbit, or GEO. Each has 2 independent infrared sensors. One is a scanner dedicated to missile warning.
Oh, so they're actually planning to send up a new system. They're going to start a new constellation, 2025, by the way, a brand new one. This one was online in 2013.
With full Earth monitoring.
Fully online.
The other sensor is a taskable starer that can focus on selected regions. Each pair of sensors act.
Look at these sensors. Look at how wide. This is like mapping half of Africa.
Simultaneously, and
that's Africa right there. Even the stare, this is like all of the Congo or some shit. I don't know, or Zimbabwe. I don't know what country that is there.
Independently of each other, providing a robust, taskable infrared platform. SBIRS is the nation's next generation of space-based infrared surveillance. The program has already proven its value with successful HEO payload.
You guys want to know the craziest part? This is only 7 of the satellites. The SBIRS system also incorporates low Earth orbit satellites and more of the mid-Earth orbit satellites, like these elliptical ones that we have. This constellation probably, in my opinion, has at least 25 satellites in it, and we're only seeing like 8 here, 8 or 9. So this system is like scanning the whole effing world.
On orbit. With deployment of the GEO spacecraft, SBIRS will be an unprecedented resource as the nation's global, taskable, and persistent infrared monitoring sentinel.
Never say never, chat. We never forget who we're working for. What? How is that Lockheed Martin's real slogan? That might as well say, just be evil. What the hell? Wild chat. Somebody asked as well, what aren't you afraid of them putting debris in the water? Honestly, guys, I'm not even afraid of more debunks at this point. I'm 100% sure the videos are real. I'm 100% sure the science is real. And at this point, I don't even care if they try to debunk it. I don't even need these videos anymore. That's how far we've already approached. I'm already 100% sure science is real. I've spoken to the engineers to talk about the science. They've given me all the clues I needed to figure it out. And at this point, this is what I'll also say. I've already signed one NDA, guys. I've already signed one NDA. It wouldn't surprise me if I end up signing more NDAs in the future. So enjoy it while you can, where I can just talk as freely about everything that's going on out there and give all my unfiltered thoughts, because the more you learn and the more NDAs you have to sign, then the less you can start talking about stuff publicly. I am sure that the United States government has magical fucking technology that's out there. And I don't even want to be exposing my own country, man. I don't want to be. I don't enjoy this. I really don't. But they won't tell me the truth and they won't fess up. So I have to keep exposing them. It's super awkward. I wish I could say China did this. It would make me so much happier to be like, China zapped this plane away and be, you know, saying that China did it, blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, like, I've learned so much. I want to be the Bob Lazar on the inside. Bob Lazar told Joe Rogan that if he had the opportunity, he would not go whistleblower again. He would want to work with the magical technology that's out there and just keep working with it. That's why the engineers don't come forward. That's why they like me, because I'm coming forward and I'm doing it. They don't have to say anything. They're like, this guy Ashton figured it out for us, and he's just singing like a canary on social media and streaming every night, talking about the science and teaching the science to people. They love that because they don't have to do anything. They don't have to break their NDAs or anything. I want to be one of those people. That's what I want to do with my life. I don't want to do healthcare anymore. I want to have and work with magical fucking technology and watch us zap planes away and shit. Hopefully we don't zap any more passenger planes away, but shit, man. If I can do this with just social media and crowdsource investigation, imagine what I could accomplish with the resources of the United States military and intelligence community. I would be a fucking monster. I'm just being real with you, chat. Shit. I would be able to figure out all of China's secrets, all of Russia's secrets. And if you think this plan was rough, oh, I will come up with some devious ass shit. I will come up with some devious shit. My cover-ups wouldn't be able to be uncovered by some random dude on Twitter with a Twitter account. I'll tell you that. My cover-ups would be a lot better than the pilot, like, I'm goofy, and the pilot went on a suicidal route where he said goodbye to his home country and then somehow crashed the plane into the ocean without leaving a debris field. I could come up with something way better than that to cover up this, what happened to this plane. It's wild. I'd have blamed it on those Iranian passengers on day one. I'd have been like, tell the world the Iranian passengers did it. Everyone will believe that. Tell them that we were trying to save it and it went horribly wrong. And yeah, whatever. We covered it up. People would have believed that, chat. People would have believed that. So that's why I'm getting into over unity, because over unity is going to change the world. I don't even care if it's successful or not. I'm just going to try anyway, because, yeah. So I think I'm going to stop there for now. I have the other stuff up. I'll start editing more of this later. We'll do more in the next follow-up streams, but I've got the Glenn Beck stuff up here. I've got the Nate and Luke's information up from when I chatted with Blurry Creatures. Guys, if you didn't watch Blurry Creatures, make sure you watch Blurry Creatures. And if somebody has the... I don't know if Blurry Creatures did a YouTube video. Lulu, are you okay? I don't know if Blurry Creatures did a YouTube video or not, but if they did, someone link that to me so I can post it on my Twitter account. All I found was the audio from their thing. I thought we did a video with them. But Blurry Creatures is one of the best podcasts I did, so you guys definitely need to watch that as well. I've done some really good ones recently. The Ether Bunny's here. Yeah, Blurry Creatures. So Blurry Creatures is actually hosted by Nate and Luke, who I'm actually going to meet them in person in, I don't know, a couple months. And Luke is Aaron Rodgers' brother, who's the football player Aaron Rodgers, which I thought was interesting. Apparently they have some drama, so I decided not to jump into that. Yeah, the Blurry Creatures interview is Action Forbes. I did 2 interviews with them. And the second one, we went into all the science. We went into the science about the DIA papers, Defense Intelligence Agency papers, the DIRDs, they call them. So definitely check that out if you're interested, guys. Anyway, guys, I am going to go to sleep. I appreciate it. Tomorrow, what did I say we were doing tomorrow? I already forgot. Oh, Ether tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to have Free Energy Thursday. We're going to talk about what are the updates related to the free energy business. Hopefully, I'll have an email set up where people can begin to solicit their interest. Maybe I'll have more details related to it as well. And then Friday, we're going to have the X Space with Jonathan Caruso. It's going to cover all these topics. So, it's going to be like probably an hour of him asking me questions and then another hour or so of you guys jumping up. So get onto X if you're not onto X. X is where all the stuff's happening, by the way, on social media. Like, you need to be on X if you're not on X. And join our X space. Come ask questions. I'll try to get up as many people. I've had a lot of people on X tell me like they wanted to get up and they couldn't ask our questions. So I'm going to actually myself try to help. I'm going to get 2 co-hosts, ideally, or at least one other co-host that can help bring people up and we can get through questions rapidly that people want to ask. So Alex Stein is horrific. He's a monster. Rah! Well, he has a whole new audience, so it's going to be great. I can't wait to have it. I can't wait to talk to him. Looking forward to it, guys. I think it's going to be live tomorrow, and I think it's around like 6:15 Eastern time, PM. So I'll post a link. But anyway, guys, have a great night. Peace, MH370X. I'm going to play us out with our favorite song tonight. This is going to be a good one. Actually, we're going to first do our little intro.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot. Told him fuck 12, fuck SWAT. Buzzing all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put the stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn field. I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deals. We been trapping like the 80s.
Welcome, step right up.
It's MH370 until you do some research. Don't talk to me. I'm going to find the truth while I sip this martini. Your opinion, it means squat to me. It's H370. Not all heroes wear capes. I wear glasses to see. I'm going to find the truth while I sip this martini. The trolls hate seeing me succeed. But guess what? H370.